what is going on in this market? I have no idea because I'm an idiot. So I brought in my good friend JR Romero to explain to me everything that's going on in this market, everything that matters right now. So big topics today. We're going to talk about the SPX. We're going to talk about gold. We're going to talk about Nvidia, inflation, all the fun topics. So JR, how are you doing today?
Mr. Camo, how are you?
I'm terrible. I'm having a really bad day. How about you?
I'm having an amazing day.
And why is that?
Enjoying the chaos. What?
What's fun about chaos? Let's start with that.
Well, I'm a day trader. I thrive in volatility. You know, it's been a touch and go today, but we caught some really nice trades, some pretty decent shorts. I came in Tesla short overnight Tesla and got stopped out of that, but then we turned the ship around. The market is at a key inflection point. A lot of people were expecting the outside bar reversal and the SPX and the NASDAQ today, and we got an upthrust and a reversal into an ABCD. So, you just have to see these things coming. Thankfully, I warned our traders today that we could potentially really have a nasty reversal off the break of day highs. So we're ready for the short reversal. Let me show my charts here.
Let's go, JR.
Listen, I'm 165 years old, okay? Give me a break. All right.
Just like a
You see my chart?
Exactly. Pulling it up right now. Yep. Everybody, we can see the beautiful charts.
All right. So let me just get rid of all these drawings and indicators here. So we were watching the daily, and I was saying, maybe we get, technically it's like a doji sandwich when you have a high wave candle off of igniting bar. And so we were watching this break of 42.94, and I told people, I said, you have this prior high here, July 23rd, right? And it's potentially a double topping reversal. So if they take out the Tuesday high through 482.94, there's a really good chance it actually turns into a topping reversal. And here you go, right? They took out the high right there. Let me grab a drawing tool so you can see right there, the red line, and it turned into a nasty reversal. We drew the 50% fib retracement, and there's your ABCD. We also took the flush of day lows here through 480.09 for a nice scalp there. So we've been making it work, but it's a very, very difficult market to trade. But we still see opportunity all over the place.
Okay, so we did have a big move off the August 5th lows. Do you think it's just time for a break?
Well, let me ask you this. Riddle me this, Kamo. When was the last time you saw a 10% move off the lows in August? On where we usually have light trading volumes and chop.
August 2009.
Was that it?
No, I just made that up.
Okay.
I have no idea. Has it ever happened?
I'm not sure. I don't remember one. So it's highly unusual. I was expecting a much lower retracement within the sequence and ABCD type of setup. We didn't get it, but now we're heavily overextended. What I tell the traders in the room is, forget your bias, forget what you think it should happen, and just trade the damn chart. I think it's served us well. It's a real precision type of scalpers market if you're a day trader, and if you're not, it's time to sit on your hands.
Okay, let's move on to another fun topic. Another one of the things we always find a way to talk about, gold. So gold has been kicking butt. It's up about 22% this year so far, and it's been extending this month. So what are you seeing with gold?
The same thing I've been seeing forever, right? So this here was your, let me grab my drawing tool here. Oh, hold on. This is your cup and handle. Within the cup and handle on the weekly, you have an inverse head and shoulders, right? So you have a reaccumulative structure within a reaccumulative structure. And, these are your targets, man. I'm talking about, this is spot gold, right? So your extension is 2767, your measured move extension, and then I'm looking for a break of 3000. Eventually.
Now is that based purely on the chart, or are you thinking at all about the economy in this?
I'm not thinking. Look, I've been trading gold for 20 years, and the one thing I've learned about gold is that it does whatever the hell it wants. You have the smartest people on the planet trying to correlate fundamentals with price movements in gold, and they have what, a 50% batting average. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not just talking Peter Schiff. He's trying to sell you gold. I'm talking about legitimate traders. And when it comes to gold, I just look at the chart.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, it definitely seems like gold is definitely has that sort of cult following. There's the people that say, higher inflation is bullish for gold, but even lower inflation is bullish for gold. So yeah, I always find gold to be one of the weirder assets, because it's almost like it's been around forever, but nobody seems to have it figured out.
Correct.
Very.
When it, I just look at the chart, and the chart is saying we're going much higher. I mean, I've been a real gold bull since we cracked 2147 in the spot gold. So.
Okay. All right. Do you think like geopolitics has anything to do with this move?
Well, the gold bugs are saying, this is a lot of accumulation by BRICS nations and so on and so forth. I have no idea. I'm a Jewish guy from Brooklyn trading out of his home office. I'm not gonna, my job is to make money from supply demand imbalances, not be an analyst. I have no idea why it's moving higher. It just is, and we're capitalizing. So.
Okay, I mean, like, so when you trade gold, do you trade like gold futures or the ETFs?
I usually stick with the GLD intraday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever trade like the miners?
No, I don't like the way the miners move. GLD is a very clean moving ETF. Sometimes I'll trade gold futures. Those really move too.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on to another fun topic. So Nvidia. So very unique. I feel like it's very fitting that Nvidia like reports so late, so that they kind of let the schedule clear out a little bit. Then they can be the entire story of the week. So I don't know if you want to pull up the chart, but what do you think of Nvidia here?
Nvidia is the petard. Are we going to die hoisted on it, or are we going to look? Here's what I'm seeing on this chart. Okay, what I'm seeing on this chart, again, not terribly fancy analysis. Okay, so when you see two strong legs higher, this was this little doji here was your cautionary signal bar. This was your sell signal there on the week of the 15th. And now we've retraced that entire move right back to the 130 handle. Typically, what I expect to see here is, some people call it building a right side, right? So typically, where's my drawing tool? You see the secondary leg. You got some channel widening here, a retracement, and a V. So at this point, typically I'll look for a right side to form. All right, so some reaccumulative type of structure, consolidating, and then potentially a break of the highs. Now, what could also happen here is we could form an M top and then a break of the neckline on the M top higher. Really hard to say. I think a lot of that is going to depend on on what they have to say in their earnings call. So, we're going to have to wait and see.
Okay, but for now, your bias on that is bullish. Is that fair to say?
Bullish. Look, I bought Nvidia on that dip. I bought some at I bought a little bit, nibbled at 116, and then I backed up the truck. They could hear in the VTF. They could hear the beep beep. Me buying Nvidia at 96, and I just sold it yesterday into the 130 handle. I bought it in my Roth IRA, so just amazing move.
Okay, so there is a lot of talk about Nvidia's status as the leader. It's the number one name in the SPX and the Qs this year. Like, do you think that if the I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. I'm having a little bit of a brain fart, but okay. But I feel like everybody, no matter what, even though the market's done great this year, it still feels like there's a whole bunch of people that are just waiting for the bottom to fall out and for things to fall apart. Like, do you think Nvidia, if the market is to fall apart, like Nvidia, do you think it could survive a weaker market?
Yeah, absolutely. If here's the problem with Nvidia, I don't know if you've looked at their orders. A large majority of their orders have gone to Max 7 names. I don't know if you've actually looked at the breakdown of.
I mean, I see the news flow for all those big companies ordering thousands and thousands and thousands of processors.
Yeah, so I think the biggest potential downside catalyst for Nvidia would be, companies like Amazon and Meta really making a sustainable chip alternative, which is yet to be seen. That being said, if even if the market comes in, Nvidia could be running on its own fundamentally, simply because of the insatiable demand for chips. So it's a tough call.
I mean, like, but do you think it's realistic that one of these companies is going to come out with a real Nvidia alternative? Because it's like when you think about the AI thing really started booming, I would say the chatter really started picking up like mid to late 2022. When you think about like how long it takes for big companies to make decisions and then actually make technological breakthroughs, like especially a non-chip company, like do you really think there's a chance that Meta could come out with some Nvidia like world beater?
There is the challenge is developmental, meaning there's billions and billions of lines of code already written to accommodate NVIDIA APIs in their development ecosystem, and that retrofitting would take a long time to do, in my opinion. So we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like because I can only think of Apple as the only like non-chip company to get into chips and actually make something happen. So I mean, I'm always curious about because I've tried out like a million AI apps, and most of them are freaking horrible. They suck like beyond belief. So I'm just curious as to how long this is sustainable because like 99% of these AI apps are absolute garbage and trash and
Yeah,
seem
they are.
completely pointless. So
Agreed.
I mean like the weird thing, like, because I can't imagine in companies like Meta and Tesla or whoever, like keeping capex growth at the same rate. Like, it's like they can't be doubling their orders every single year. I don't know. Like how much of a bubble do you think AI is?
So there's the initial bubble, and then there's the big bubble. I don't think we've even seen the big bubble yet. I mean, we're talking about an economic paradigm shift unlike one we've ever seen before in our lives. So I think we've seen nothing yet. I think Nvidia, before the end of this year, may go to $200.
And like, what probability do you place on that?
Probably 50-50. I mean, just looking at this chart, you have a consolidation base of 5 weeks on the left side, right? That takes us to potential breakout in Nvidia by the end of October into quarter 4. So,
All right.
yeah.
I'm long Nvidia, so that would be absolutely welcomed. But I mean, okay, but when you think about like when AI being a seismic revolution, like, do you
Mhm.
think it's on par with the internet?
Yeah, the only difference is, in the late 90s, they were extrapolating all this internet growth without having a viable internet ecosystem, and they were just sort of throwing spaghetti at the wall. You know, I mean, how many of these .coms actually survived into 2001? Whereas AI is already serviceable, actionable, and here. So I think it's really, really different. People come up with these 1999 parallels, and I don't think they're accurate. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I think you and I are on different pages on this topic because I don't know. It's like because I see all these mobile apps. Everybody's trying to shove AI into something, and it does feel a little awkward. I actually think it's gonna boom for a while, then crash completely, um, and then take off again in the more when like the more realistic applications take over.
One of the companies I'm a partner and investor in, because I got stuff going on all over the place, does electrical one lines for hazardous energy management. 2 years ago, it used to take a team of 5 people 2 weeks to test every hazardous energy safety point uh, within a diagram with 20, 30,000 endpoints. With the AI, it's being done in 20 minutes.
Okay,
Right.
and you think there's going to be those sort of like small scale innovations happening across all industries?
So, have you seen the AI cloning technology where you basically have a AI work buddy that follows you around, watches you work, reads all your emails, sends all your email, watches you send all your emails, catalogs your workflow and work process, and then basically becomes your assistant? We're going to see people do startups in all kinds of industries with 20, 30, 40, 50 virtual employees. What do you think that's going to do for profit margins, innovation, speed to market? Imagine if you had 50 virtual employees that didn't take vacations, worked on the weekends, worked 24/7. That's
I mean,
coming.
yeah, like it's really interesting. But then I want. But the thing is, the interesting thing is like if you could do it, because then it's weird because like every business model becomes instantly copyable, and then everything like then branding becomes the only differentiator.
First to market, and pricing could become a race to zero also, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because then it's like you get an AI and you tell it to go like you tell AI to go copy the other company, and then I don't know, it's funny because I just use so many AI apps, and I do have AI. I mean, I use AI as like sort of like my like digital gopher that does a lot of busy work for me that I would never
Mm-hmm.
do if I didn't have ChatGPT. There's just some things I would never ever do. So it definitely is interesting. Darren in the comments is telling me I need to try Perplexity. I will be much more of a believer. So I am a believer in AI. I just think 99% of it today is absolute pure garbage. Like because
I'll tell you who's not go. Go ahead, sir.
because I mean there's like ChatGPT is amazing for things. Like I've used a lot of the image creation apps. Some of the music ones are amazing. Um, it's still like weird and fake, but it's like shocking what it can spit out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that then there are things like I heard about all these video editing apps where you can put in your big video and it picks out the clips and stuff like that. It's just like it's shocking how bad those things can be when it like sounds like a basic thing, but yeah. So I do think like if this is the first generation we're seeing right now, it's shockingly good for a first generation. Like this is way better than first generation internet. Um, I don't know if people remember when it took like hours
The
to
initial
download a
internet
file.
was a solution in search of a problem in many ways, right? We knew it was amazing technology, but we weren't sure exactly what it was going to look like. I don't think we're there anymore. The thing that's 100% clear to me is that patent attorneys are not going to go out of business. There's going to be a whole new industry of intellectual property theft detection. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's like one random anecdote, and this happened like 10 years ago. Where a prior company I worked for, we had an editor who was just copying images off the internet, which is a big no-no, and then publishing them. And one of the larger like imaging license companies sent us an automated lawsuit, and they said like, pay this like $3,000 bill to license that image you took right now, or we're going to sue you. And they would sue us, and they would have won. And so like this stuff's been it's in like that. I feel like that type of thing is probably going to be much more common. Things just scanning for theft, and then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean it does seem like a lawyer's dream because the stuff like so many things are breaking new ground. There's going to be like a million arguments that need to be made in court over who. I mean, there is already a big copyright thing because like nobody can own a copyright an AI photo can't be copyrighted. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, patent lawyers are going to be in for some big bills over the next few years. I bet.
All hail the patent trolls! Absolutely.
I would love to become one. It seems like such a. Okay, guys, that is going to wrap us up. So yeah, so gold is going higher, Nvidia is going higher. Those are the big takeaways from our fun time with JR. But if you are really smart, you will join JR's Momentum Express VTF. You can get your first month for just $49. That's when he gets in you hear all the sound effects, all the Star Trek references, all the nerdy stuff happens here live. T3live.com/JR live, T3live.com/JR live. So JR, we will
Thank you,
argue about
Captain.
AI again in the future. So have a wonderful day and go out there and make some money.
Love it, man. Take care.
Bye.